A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So we'll start our today's class now. Can I request the co-host to choose a student for starting prayer?
Assalamu alaikum. N6204.
N6204. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. N6204.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Can you read the starting prayer?
Yeah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka antas sami'ul alim.
Jazakallah. You can also read the translation.
O Allah, accept this effort and service from us, for you are the most hearing and the most knowing. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah. So now I'll quickly go through the class etiquettes before listening to the previous surahs. So everyone should make sure that they have performed their wudu before coming to the class, and make sure that you have covered your heads with a scarf or a cap, and make sure that you have revised your lessons and that you're sitting with an adult. Your audio and video should be off at all times. And make sure that you log in with correct ID. If you log in with the wrong ID, the assistant teacher will put you into the waiting room until you correct your ID. During the lesson, make sure that you listen attentively so that you don't repeat the same mistakes, and keep your hands down unless you are requested. If you have to leave the classroom, ask for permission, and after the lesson, revise your lesson and complete your assigned homework. And also, this class is just an additional support, so make sure that you read your daily Quran with your parents with the translation. So now we'll start our today's class, which is just a revision class. So I'll be listening to all this to listen. I'll be listening to the students for the previously taught surahs. So can I ask the...
Okay. Next one is A5183, and he is going to recite Surah Al-Nasr.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
A5183.
Okay. A5183. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Walaikum salam.
You have memorized Surah Al-Nasr, right?
Yep.
Okay, you can start reciting whenever you're ready.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا.
Okay. Jazakallah. A5183. Let me go to Surah Al-Nasr, and then... So here, first of all, you have memorized this surah really well. However, you made some mistakes, which I'd like to point out. So firstly, here, on top of Ja, there is Madde Kabir, and we have to elongate it for at least 5 seconds. So please correct that mistake. And then here, when you were reading the first verse, Nasrullah, you read Nasrullah. So there is no wow. So make sure that you don't do any of those sorts of mistakes.
Okay.
And then another mistake. In this last verse here, the last word, you stopped at the wab. You have to when you are stopping somewhere, you only get rid of the top strokes. So it will be tawaba. Okay?
Okay.
And then here, on top of ha, there is inverted dhamma. So make sure you prolong that for 2 seconds at least. Okay. Which other surah is A5183 going to recite?
You can listen the next surah if you want to.
Okay. Surah A5183.
Yep.
Have you memorized Surah Kafirun?
Yep.
Okay, you can start reciting that whenever you're ready.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد لكم دينكم ولي دين.
Okay. Jazakallah. Again, your memorization is really nice. You have memorized the surah. However, you made some mistakes again. So first of all, here on top of all of these letters, we have Madd Saghir, which has to be prolonged for at least 3 seconds. So ya, if you find it hard, you can use your fingers and make sure that you prolong it for at least 3 seconds or counts. And here, just here, you made a very a little mistake. So here it is abadtum. You read abdum. So on top of ba, we have the fatha stroke. So make sure that you recite it as abadtum. Okay?
Okay.
Jazakallah. And have you also memorized Surah Al-Nasr?
I think I just said
He just
Sorry, Surah Al-Qasr.
yeah.
Okay. You can start reciting that.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر.
Jazakallah. So let me go to the surah. So here, again, you have memorized the surah really well. Just one mistake here. On top of alif, there is no stroke. So you prolonged it too much. You have to prolong it no more than 2 counts. Okay?
Okay.
So, yeah. All right. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah.
Salam.
Walaikum Assalam.
Okay, next one is A5191.
Okay. A5191. Assalamu alaikum.
And he is going to recite Surat Al-Kawthar, Al-Maun, and Quraysh.
Okay. A5191. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. A519.
You want me to? He is in the class.
Yeah, I can see it. A51.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum Assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay. A5191. You have memorized Surah Al-Kawthar, right?
Which surah is that again?
The one on the screen right now.
Okay, yes.
Okay. You can start reciting.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانهر إن شانئك هو الأبتر.
Okay. Jazakallah, you have memorized the surah really well. Just a few mistakes. So here, on top of noon, we have the vertical fatha, and we have to prolong it for at least 2 seconds. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So you have also memorized Surah Al-Maun, right?
Yes.
You can start. You can start reciting that as well.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يعدو اليتيم الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف.
A5191.
Yes.
Can you start again from فَذَلِكَ الَّذِي?
فذلك الذي يعدو اليتيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين فويل للمصلين الذين عن صلاتهم ساهون الذين هم يراءون ويمنعون الماعون.
Jazakallah, you have memorized the surah but not completely correct. I'll point out a few mistakes. First of all, here it's Ara'ayta allazi, but you said Ara'ayta allazi. So you have to make clear pronunciation and distinguish between the fatha stroke on ra and the sound that is created by Hamza. So Ara'ayta allazi, okay?
Okay.
And then here in this verse, you forgot to say this word hum. So you said allazina an salatihim sahun. Okay? So make sure that you go over the surah again and perfect it, okay? Because as you know, we are going to have a test this week. So before that test, make sure that you have memorized all the surahs correctly. And here, this is Yadu'ul Yatim. Okay? But you said Yadu'ul Yatim. So you have to correct this mistake as well. Okay? It's not two separate words. You have to connect the dal and the ain. So Yadu'ul Yatim. Okay?
Okay.
You have also memorized Surah Al-Quraysh?
Well, I think I have already recited that in the class.
No, no, I don't think so.
I don't mind reciting it again.
Yeah, that will be good. Jazakallah. You can start reciting it.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. لإيلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف.
Jazakallah. So, again, you have memorized the surah really well. Just a few common mistakes. So here, on top of lam, and here under the alif, we have the fatha stroke here. So you have to prolong it for at least 2 seconds. And then we have the vertical kasra here, which you also have to prolong for at least 2 seconds. Okay?
Okay.
And yeah, just work on your pronunciation. Apart from that, your memorization is good. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah.
Can we have another student?
Yes, N6195. N6195. And she is going to recite Surat Al-Kawthar, Surat Al-Ma'un, and Quraysh.
N6195, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Walaikum salam.
You have memorized Surah Al-Kawthar, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You can start reciting that.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna a'tainakal kawthar fasalli lirabbika wanhar inna shaniyaka huwal abtar.
Jazakallah. So, mashallah, you have memorized the surah really well, and your pronunciation is really good too. I will just say that don't prolong the strokes too much. So,
Okay.
yeah, and your melody is really good as well. But don't stretch all the words. I hope that makes sense.
Okay.
You have also memorized Surah Al-Maun, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you can start reciting that.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذكر فذكر باليوم الدين 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 فذكر باليو فذلك الذي يدعو اليتيم فلا يهد ولا طعام المسكين فويل للمصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون الذين هم يراءون ويمنعون الماعون.
Okay, and 6195, Jazakallah. Again, you have memorized the surah really well, and there were no mistakes in terms of memorization, and your pronunciation was really good as well. I'll just point out towards this one rule. So you can see the letter highlighted in blue, right? The noon and sad. So here you have to, when you're joining these two words, make sure that the noon is silent. Okay?
Okay.
So you have to conceal the noon. So it instead of an salatihim, it should be an salatihim. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You have also memorized Surah Al-Quraysh, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you can start reciting that.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لإيلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف.
Jazakallah in 6195. Again, you have memorized the surah really well. Again, the same rule that I pointed towards in the previous surah. Here, the letter is highlighted in blue. Make sure that the noon is silent. So when you join the noon and the jim, instead of min ju it should be meo ju wa amanahum. Okay? And the other thing is, when you create the nasal sound on a waw mushaddad, make sure that it is for at least 2 seconds. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, Jazakallah.
Jazakallah.
Okay, next one is 85185.
A5185, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
And he is going to recite Surah Al-Kafirun.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam warahmatullah.
Walaikum assalam.
You have memorized Surah Al-Kafirun, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you can start reciting it whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul za ayyuhal kafirun. La a'badu ma ta'badun. Wala antum abiduna ma abad. Wala ana abiduna abattum. Wala antum abiduna ma
Okay,
abud.
A5185. Can you start reciting again from wala antum.
Okay. ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد لكم دينكم ولي دين.
Okay. So again, you got confused when you were reciting the 4th verse. After that, you got confused in the 5th verse. And when I asked you to recite from this verse, which is exactly the same as the 6th verse, you started reciting from the 6th verse.
Yeah.
So make sure to go over this surah because I know it is confusing for kids, and correct it before your actual exam. And here in the 4th verse, instead of you said a'bad, and you said it twice. Okay. 185.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Instead of
And
Dhamma, you pronounced Fatha here.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. And here, instead of Wala ana abidum ma abattum, you said Wala abiduna. So you got confused between this and this word. Understand? So make sure that you go over this surah again and you perfect it. Have you also memorized Surah Al-Qasr?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you start reciting that?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا آتيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إنا شانئك هو الأبتر.
Okay. So let me go to the surah here. First of all, here on noon we have vertical fatha. So you have to make sure you prolong it for at least 2 seconds. And secondly, here on lam we have a kasra, and it's not vertical, so you have to make sure you only prolong it for 1 second or count. You prolonged it for more than 1 second. Okay. And lastly, here it's inna shaniyaka. I heard saniyaka, so it's not seen, it's sheen. So make sure that you work on these mistakes. So have you also memorized Surah Al-Maun?
Yeah.
Okay, you can also recite that.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أريت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يعوذ اليتيم
Okay, yadu'ul yatim.
ويعوذ اليتيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين فويل للمصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون الذين هم
Yura'un.
يراءون ويمنعون الماعون.
Jazakallah. A5185. So, mashallah, you have tried really well to memorize the surah, and you're almost there. So first of all, there are very few mistakes. So just as I told one of the other students, make sure here your sound is very clear. Ara'aita, not araita. Okay. And secondly, here it's ta'amil miskin, not ta'amil. Okay. So again, make sure that you pronounce both of the letters ta and ain clearly. Ta'amil miskin, not ta'amil miskin, because it sounds like there's only ta there. Okay. And lastly, here it's an salatihim, not ana salatihim sahun. Yeah. So make sure there is no stroke on noon. So, but you pronounced as if there was a fatha stroke on noon. So to make sure to correct that mistake as well. Apart from that, in the last two verses, you were a bit confused. So make sure that you go home today and work on this surah. Okay?
Okay. Give you the next student.
Yes, please.
N6196. N6196. And she is going to recite
Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum.
Al-Qasr, Al-Ma'un, and Quraysh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullah.
Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam warahmatullah.
Waalaikumsalam.
N6196. You have memorized Al-Qasr, right?
Yes.
Okay, you can start reciting it.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر.
Jazakallah. Let me go to the surah. Mashallah, you have recited really well. Your pronunciation was very good, and memorization and melody.
Jazakallah.
Just one little mistake here. Here you can see the noon mushaddad, right?
Yes.
I already told one of the other students, make sure that you, the nasal sound, make sure that you do it for at least 2 seconds. Okay?
Okay.
So Inna.
Inna.
Yeah, Jazakallah. So apart from that, mashallah, your melody and pronunciation was really good.
Jazakallah.
You also memorized Surah Al-Maun?
Yeah.
Okay, you can start reciting that as well.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يدعو اليتيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين فويل للمصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون الذين هم يراءون ويمنعون الماعون.
Jazakallah. N6196. So again, mashallah, you have memorized the entire surah really well, and your pronunciation was really good. So just one little mistake here. When you, because the letter Ain has the mushaddad stroke, so when you double the sound, yadu'ul, make sure that you also, the sound comes from your throat, so that it's, there is a difference between alif and ain. Okay?
Okay.
So apart from that, mashallah, your recitation was really good.
Jazakallah.
So have you also memorized Surah Al-Qur'an?
Yeah.
Okay, you can also recite that.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. لإيلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف.
And 6196,
Yes.
can you recite from Allazi at'amahum?
الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف.
Okay. Jazakallah. Mashallah, again, you have memorized surah really well, and recited it really well as well. Just one mistake here. The first time you read, you were reading this verse, and when you were connecting the Jew, I don't know if you were trying to take a break here or continue, but you said Jew, and then you stopped, and then you said وَآمَنَهُم مِّنْ خَوْفٍ. And the second time you started reading, you stopped at min ju'i and وَآمَنَهُم مِّنْ خَوْفٍ. So if you're going to take a break at this word, make sure that you stop at Ju, okay? And then
Okay.
continue with وَآمَنَهُم. And if you want to continue the entire verse, then it will be Ju وَآمَنَهُم مِّنْ خَوْفٍ, okay?
Okay. Sorry, I forgot there was a lamb there.
No, it's okay. So if it is that your breath is, if you're short of breath, then you can take a break there.
Okay.
And apart from that, just so yeah, that's pretty much it. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah.
Can we have
Okay, yes. Next student is going to be A5183, and he's going to recite Surah Al-Nasr.
okay. A5183, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Walaikum salam.
You have memorized Surah Al-Nasr, right?
I just recited. I was the first student to recite.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, yes, sorry.
It's
Okay, next one is A5206,
okay.
and he's going to recite Surah Al-Qur'an.
Okay. A5206, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. A5206.
I'm having trouble unmuting him.
Okay. Can we have another student for the time being?
Yes. N6184. N6184, and she's going to recite Surah Al-Qur'an.
Okay. N6184, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum.
You have memorized Surah Al-Qur'an, right?
G.
Okay, you can start reciting that whenever you're ready.
Okay. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. لإيلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف.
Jazakallah. So, mashallah, you have memorized the surah really well. Just one little mistake here and here. So, the vertical fatha and the vertical kasra, make sure that you prolong it for at least 2 seconds or counts or beats. And the madde kabir, make sure that you prolong it for at least 5 seconds, beats or counts. Okay?
Okay.
And apart from that, it was very well recited, Jazakallah. Can we have
Next student? Next student is going to be N6206. N6206, and she is going to recite Surat Al-Quraysh.
Okay. And 6206, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
You have memorized Surah Al-Quraysh, right? N6206,
G?
you have memorized Surah Al-Quraysh, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay, you can start reciting it.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لإيلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي
Yeah, that's right.
I can't remember the last line.
الذي أطعمهم
الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف.
Yeah, that's right. Jazakallah. So, mashallah, you have recited really well. Again, you pronounced the madde kabir right, but the vertical fatha, make sure that you prolong it for at least 2 seconds. And then here, we have the vav elongation. And you know the rule for vav elongation, right?
Sí.
Alif, vav, and ya elongation. If that is follows, if these 3 letters follow any other letter, the sound of that letter has to be prolonged for 2 counts at least. Okay? So instead of فَلْيَعْبُدُوا رَبَّ هَذَا الْبَيْتِ, it will be فَلْيَعْبُدُوا رَبَّ هَذَا الْبَيْتِ. Okay? And you were just having trouble remembering this word, أَطْعَمَهُمْ. So when you go home today, just try and read this verse again and again until you get into the flow. Okay?
Okay.
So yeah, make it perfect for your test. Jazakallah. Can we have another student?
Okay. So, N6209,
N6209.
and she is going to recite Surat Al-Maun and Quraysh.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam rahmatullah. N6209.
Yes.
She's going to recite Surah Al-Quraysh, right?
Surat Al-Maun and Surat Quraysh, yes.
Okay. You have memorized Surah Al-Quraysh, right?
Which one's that?
Li'ilafi Quraysh.
Yes.
Okay, you can start reciting it.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لإلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف.
Okay, Jazakallah. And 6209.
Yeah.
You have memorized the surah really well. Just this one, you pronounce the vertical fatha right, but this Madde Kabir, make sure that you prolong it for 5 seconds. And then after that, in the last verse, it's Amanahum min khawf, and you recited it min khayf, which is completely wrong, so it will change the meaning of the Holy Quran, which is not right? So make sure that you go over the surah again and again and correct these mistakes. And you have also memorized Surah Al-Maun, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Which one's that?
The one on the screen. You have memorized that, right?
Yes.
Okay, you can start reciting that.
I don't know it off by heart.
Okay. All right, that's fine. But make sure that you memorize this for your test because it will be included in your test. Okay, Jazakallah. Can we have another student? Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Can I have another student?
Okay, next. A5206 is not here. Okay, next one is then. Shall I give you another one?
Yeah, A5206. You have muted yourself. So if you would like to take part in this class, then please unmute yourself. For the time being, we'll have another student.
Okay. N6229.
Okay. N6229. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
And he is going to recite Surah Al-Kafirun, Al-Qasr, Al-Maun, and Quraysh.
Okay. N6229. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum.
You have memorized Surah Al-Kafirun, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you can start reciting that.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد لكم دينكم ولي دين.
Okay, Jazakallah. And 6229. So, mashallah, you have memorized the surah really well and you weren't confused or anything. But just one little mistake here. So when you abidum ma abadtum, so when there is alif of elongation, first of all on meme there is mushaddad. So you have to make sure that you prolong it, the ghunna sound, for 2 seconds, and then it's followed by alif of elongation. So you have to make it 3 seconds, right?
Yeah.
So I think you rushed a little bit here and you just went abidum ma abadtum. So the double sound was there, but the elongation wasn't there. Okay?
Okay.
So yeah, Jazakallah. So now we it's 7:55 and we'll now conclude our class. So first of all, as we have been telling everyone that you are going to have a test soon, which is this week. It can be tomorrow or it can be on Wednesday or any other day of this week. So make sure that you are prepared every single day. And in the test, there will be from chapter 106 to 114. You can be asked to recite any of the verses and chapter 1 as well. So make sure that you prepare for the test and memorize all the previous surahs with the correct pronunciation. And now, can I have a student to recite the ending prayer?
A5202.
Okay.
A5202.
A5202. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. A5202. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Would you like to give me the other students?
Yes.
A5222.
A5222. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam warahmatullah. A5222. Can you read this?
Yes.
Can you recite this ending prayer?
Yes.
Okay.
Rabbana.
Start with 1000 tasmiyah.
ربنا تقبل أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم.
Jazakallah. You can also read the translation.
O Allah, accept this effort and service from us, for you are the most hearing, the most knowing.
Jazakallah.
Ameen.
Ameen. So, with this, we'll end our today's class. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.